Welcome to Ridin Shotgun. Today we've got the Beretta M92FS and the Beretta M96. The 92FS is a 9mm Parabellum and the 96 is a 40 Smith & Wesson. These are two pretty interesting guns. The company itself, Beretta, has been around since the year 1526, and the original design on the M9 pattern has been around since 1976. These two particular ones, this design with the decocking levers, has been around since about the year 1990. This one specifically was made in 2003, and this one was made somewhere around 2010. So what we got is this is the 92FS, and you'll see both sides there. Pretty looking gun. This one was made in the USA, as was this one. These are both Italian firearms, and this one has the Trigicon night sights on it. Both of these have the front sight permanently affixed to the slide. You'll see the rear sight is removable and replaceable, and the slide release on these specifically, I like these personally. They're a bit bigger and they're right in the right place for a carry gun. Just about anybody can figure out how to use that one. And now this specific model back in 1980 about is when they came up with the design for the decocking lever. And you can rotate this downwards and that will actually decock the firearm, or you can rotate it downwards before the slide is down, and when you release the slide it will drop that hammer. The magazines that we have here, we've got all different kinds. As you can see up here, we've got the 9mm mags. This was a standard steel floor plate on this one. It's a 15 round magazine for that 92 in 9mm. Got the old steel floor plate and these shiny brand new 92A1 magazines. And for the 96 you've got these steel 10 rounders, which were used in a lot of police departments. And then we've got these 11 rounders, which is the standard carry for a 96. Also, there's a lot of aftermarket mags. This is a Metgar 96 magazine. The strange thing is that it's supposed to hold 15 rounds. However, I actually used this one for 9mm. It holds 20 in there, and it feeds a little more reliably with the 9 than it does the 40. So we're going to take these apart here. The 96 is pretty easy. We're just going to drop that real quick. I'm going to do this one pretty quickly here, and then we'll go step by step through the 92. The 92, what you're going to want to do, I like to do, is rack that back and lock it with that slide lock on there. We're going to press this button on the side of the gun, and then we'll rotate that clockwise downwards on the left side. And then let's take a look at this frame. This frame here, you've got your trigger mechanism down here that actually goes through the side of the frame, and then it's got this trigger locking bar on the right side. It's actually exposed on the outside of the gun, which then works the hammer. Now, to get all this junk out the inside of the slide, you're going to take this recoil assembly here and press on it and just kind of take it out, just like that. And we'll put that down. Now these have the two-lug design with a little button kind of deal on the back of the chamber here. If you press that in, that actually releases the barrel, and you can pull that barrel right out. And then in here, it'll actually show some of the safety features that we have. There's a button in here that when you pull the trigger it will actually depress this, and that locking bar releases the firing pin to allow it to fire. Along with this, you can see where the firing pin gets struck by the hammer in here. If you flip down the safety catch here, that will rotate the firing pin up into the slide, making it pretty much impossible to fire if it's on safe, which is a really neat feature. These are great guns for carry. These are great guns for beginner shooters. Pretty easy to take apart, really easy to handle. With these magazine releases, you can basically swap them out. You can take this part out and turn it around and flip it back in, so that if you're a wrong-handed shooter, you have your ambidextrous mag release there. Now, these specific grips on here, a lot of people say that they're too big. I've got pretty small hands, but it fits really well in the palm of your hand, and just about anybody can handle them. Now, what we do to put them back together is pretty simple. We're just going to take these three parts first, slide that barrel right down into this hole here, and then see, that might happen there where you want to put it right up into the chamber, and then that's good to go. And we'll take the recoil assembly and slide that back in here. There's a little notch on the underside of the chamber. Just put that in there. You're going to guide this slide onto these guide bars on the inside, or on the frame itself, and then rack it back, lock it, and then just flip that right up. And then there you go. So you've got that one. There's another way that you can actually put that slide back on. It might be a little bit easier for you. I personally don't like it much. We're going to throw that recoil assembly, and that can happen. Okay, and I'm back. So that was not intentional. This sort of thing can happen sometimes. These are not a single part recoil assembly like most modern striker fires. This is a two-part, and if you're not really careful, like if you're nervous on camera, that can just shoot out, and it'll take you a while to find it, especially in a pretty crowded kitchen. So you slap that back in there, and then what you can do is bring it just back far enough to get it onto the frame, and then slap that up, and then it's good to go. So this is a 9mm on our left and a 40 caliber on our right. Pretty sizable difference there. I mean, both great guns. The amount of stopping power that you get for the amount of capacity is pretty well balanced here. There are tons of different models of the Berettas. There's the Beretta M92FS, there's the Beretta M92S, there's the M92A1, which we actually have up here. This is my A1. It's got some custom grips on there, some skeletonized ones. It's got that shiny 17 round magazine. This one was actually made in Italy. It's got a blue frame on it. It's pretty neat. I thoroughly enjoy it. You've got the 96, you've got the 96D, which is a double action only. I personally would stay away from any 92 or 96 D series or S series. The S series, instead of having the lanyard loop on the bottom here, actually that's where the mag release is, and I think that's pretty stupid. But so yeah, that's what we've got to show you today. The Berettas, they're beautiful. They've been around for a long time. It's the oldest firearms manufacturer on the face of the planet. So, I mean, they're really neat. We'll probably show you some new cool stuff here soon. Well, that's all we've got today. Thanks for watching. We'll be sure to upload some more videos with all kinds of reviews, shooting action, a variety of interesting tools, and you'll be here riding shotgun.